Are you looking for a natural way to boost your family's immunity this cold and flu season without mystery ingredients or a trip to the pharmacy? What if I told you that you could make powerful, delicious elderberry syrup at home with just a few simple ingredients? Stick around and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Hi, folks. I'm Lucy Walker from the HomeGrown Herbalist School of Botanical Medicine. And today I'm going to show you how to make a simple, powerful elderberry syrup right in your own kitchen. This is one of my absolute favorite remedies for my family during cold and flu season because it's gentle, effective, and actually tastes really good. Which, let's be real, that is a rarity in the world of herbal medicine. Yeah, I see you, Golden Seal and Devil's Claw. You nasty. But seriously, it is wonderful to have a remedy that your kids and family members will take happily. Elderberries have been used for centuries to support the immune system, especially during cold and flu season. Both the berries and the flowers are commonly used in teas or syrups to help prevent respiratory infections. And taken at the first sign of illness, elderberry can often stop a cold or flu right in its tracks before it really takes hold. So why are they so effective? Well, elderberries are packed with immune-boosting vitamin C, vitamin A, and B vitamins. Plus, they're loaded with antioxidants like anthocyanins, the compounds that give them that gorgeous deep purple color. These antioxidants help your body fight off oxidative stress and inflammation, supporting a healthy immune response. Now, not only do elderberries boost and support your immune system, they've also been shown to inhibit replication of influenza viruses, which is pretty fantastic this time of year. Today, I'm going to show you how to make your own elderberry syrup right at home. Let's get started. So here's what you'll need to gather for your elderberry syrup. We have 3.5 cups of water, 2/3 of a cup of dried elderberries, or 1 1/3 cups if you're using fresh or frozen berries. 2 tablespoons of ginger, and you can use fresh if you have that on hand, but dry works well also. 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, and a cup of raw honey for sweetness and its natural preservative qualities. All right, we're going to start by pouring our water into the pot. Next, you're going to add your elderberries. We're going to add the ginger, some cinnamon, and cloves. And then we're going to just mix those all together. So what we're doing right here is actually called a decoction in herbal medicine. And a decoction is when you simmer tougher plant material like roots or bark in water over a period of time to extract their medicinal properties. Unlike a tea where you simply steep the plant material in hot water after it's been removed from the heat, a decoction requires a long simmering time on the heat to fully extract all the beneficial compounds. So by simmering the elderberries for about 45 minutes, we're helping to break them down and release all of those immune boosting and antiviral compounds that we want in our syrup. Now, most of the time, I don't recommend cooking herbs, especially ones that contain volatile oils or delicate medicinal constituents that can be damaged by too much heat. But elderberries are an exception. Their medicinal constituents are a lot tougher and aren't as damaged by the heat of a long simmer. Also, raw elderberries can actually cause some digestive upset, and simmering them like we're doing here in a decoction makes it so that you won't get an upset tummy. So in this case, cooking herbs is great. Now, you're going to want to bring this mixture to a boil, and once it's boiling, you will reduce the heat until it is at a gentle simmer, and then we'll just cover it up. So once we have this at a simmer, we're going to let it cook for about 45 minutes until the liquid is reduced by, about half. Okay, we're back. We let this finish cooking and we gave it some time to cool down. Once your mixture has reduced by about half and you've given it that 45-minute cook time, you're going to remove it from the heat and let it cool off. And at that point, you'll be ready to strain it. So we're going to strain this through a strainer and a cloth to help capture any of the berry pulp, and then we'll be left with a beautiful purple liquid. I like to mash my berries a little bit while it's straining, just to get all the extra goodness out of them for my syrup. Okay, so this wasn't supposed to be part of this video, but I'm going to share a quick life hack with you. On this set, our strainer is quite small. We didn't have a big enough strainer here to do this project, so it's taking a really long time to strain. If you have that problem, I'm going to put on gloves because I don't want to make a mess, but you can just, I'll show you what to do here. Just a sec. So I'm just going to lift the cloth here. And catch all the edges so that it doesn't, spill out the side and get the berry pulp out. And then we're just going to twist it. Oops, I'm going to catch a little more here. And that's going to help us squeeze out some of that liquid so that we can move this little project along. Yeah, that's better than drip drip. Now it's drizzle drizzle. So here we have this gorgeous herbal liquid. See it there? It's beautiful. And now we're going to add 1 cup of honey to make it into a syrup. Now here's an important point. You want to wait until your liquid has cooled before adding the honey, because heat can damage some of honey's most beneficial properties. In fact, let's talk about that for a minute, because honey isn't just here for sweetness. I used raw, unfiltered honey, and that quality really matters to me. Raw honey is rich in enzymes and antioxidants, vitamins, and natural antimicrobial compounds, many of which are sensitive to heat. And so that's why we let the mixture cool before stirring in the honey. Medicinally, honey really is a powerhouse. It's soothing to your throat, has antibacterial and antiviral actions, and it's also helping preserve the syrup naturally. Now, you could absolutely use a pasteurized honey if that's what you have on hand, but if you can get a high quality raw honey, you'll be adding an extra layer of medicinal support to your syrup. So we're just going to give this a good stir until that honey is all combined with the liquid. Now you can pour your beautiful syrup into a clean glass jar. there we have it. We just made our very own elderberry syrup. Wasn't that easy? Now you will need to store it in the refrigerator and it will keep for about 2 to 3 months. You can adjust this recipe and make larger amounts. Some people like to make a really big batch of elderberry syrup and they will sometimes can it or freeze it so that they can have a lot stored up for when they need it. I personally don't do that. I haven't done that. Anytime we add a layer of processing, there is some damage done to the medicinal properties. So I like to just make enough to get my family through a couple of months, and then I'll make another batch. Now you do want to make sure to label your jar with the date you made it. That way you can be sure to use it up before it gets too old in the fridge. Let's talk about dosing for just a minute. The standard dose for elderberry syrup is 1/2 to 1 teaspoon for kids and 1/2 to 1 tablespoon for adults daily during cold and flu season. Now, if you feel something coming on, you can take it every 3 to 4 hours throughout the day. A lot of people ask if elderberry syrup is safe for kids. And the answer is that once your little ones reach the toddler stage, when they're up and around, running around, starting to talk, they're usually big enough for elderberries and honey. This syrup is not only effective, but it is so delicious. I haven't had any trouble getting my little kids to take it. In fact, I've even drizzled some over pancakes for them, and they absolutely loved it. It really is yummy. Now, you can be creative with how you use it. It could be added to a cup of your favorite tea. You could put it in a smoothie. All of those are great options. But you can also just take it straight, and it is delightful. Now, this is a basic recipe, but feel free to play with it and add in some other herbs you love. Actually, I would love to hear from you. What extra ingredients do you add to your elderberry syrups? Drop me a comment on this video. I will be reading through those and would love to hear about your elderberry syrup recipes and what you're trying. Now, if you want to try making some elderberry syrup and would like the easy button, we have our elderberry syrup kit at HomeGrown Herbalist that has all of these ingredients for the recipe we did today. They're pre-measured and ready to go. And there are enough ingredients in this kit for you to make 2 full batches of syrup. So swing by our website, homegrownherbalist.com, to get your kit. Or click on the link in the description below this video. Now, if you want to gather your own ingredients and just need the recipe, click on the link in the description and you can find the full recipe on the blog that is linked there. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about herbs and home remedies, make sure to like, subscribe, and go check out the Homegrown Herbalist School of Botanical Medicine. I'm Lucy Walker. See you next time.